So on Thursday, I drove to school in what can only be described as a Category 5 blizzard because my university does not believe in the concept of closing the campus when there are hazards on the roads for commuters like, you know, lots and lots of snow falling at fast and furious speeds, which is only made better by the fact that, you know, 95% of the student population commutes there. And on top of all of that, the city of New York doesn't understand the concept of plowing snow. We get snow every year and we just consistently do not understand how to deal with it. Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a Q&A video. I would call this like a hashtag Ask Amy or something like that, except I'm not cool enough to have my own hashtag. But anyway, I have questions from people. Let's answer them. Would you rather have a rabbit-sized elephant or an elephant-sized rabbit? I would actually not like to have either of those things because I am terrified of animals. Also, I'm about 99.9999999% sure that the person who asked this is a nerd fighter because this is almost exactly like a question that John Green was asked on a Question Tuesday video on Vlogbrothers, where it was like, would you rather have a puppy-sized elephant or an elephant-sized puppy? But anyway, if I have to choose, I am going to choose a rabbit-sized elephant because that would be just like unbelievably adorable. And also, I watch really a lot of Monty Python, and there's a thing in Monty Python and the Holy Grail where there's a killer rabbit that's like this big, but it jumps up and like goes right for your jugular and kills you. So the idea of an elephant-sized bunny is actually slightly terrifying. Describe your life with a Sondheim or Rodgers and Hammerstein song. Well, right about now, Losing My Mind from Follies fits pretty well because I have just so much music to learn and some of it's in French and just French is hard, okay? What song do you always sing in the shower? My shower repertoire is pretty random, but it is sometimes affected by like what shows I'm doing at the time. And right about now, I actually cannot stop singing the Foray mandolin because we're working on it in my vocal rep class and I have just kind of grown to accept the fact that I will never get that piece out of my head. Most embarrassing story, don't answer if it's too personal. I have a lot of embarrassing stories and it's kind of hard to point to one as like the most embarrassing. But to answer this, I'm going to tell you a random embarrassing story that actually happened just this past Thursday. I was in dictation, which if you are not in music school, it is a class where you sit and you listen to somebody play either chords or a melody or a rhythm and you have to hear that and write it down onto some staff paper. And so the professor had written on the board what the homework assignment was for next week. So I take out my phone to take a picture of the board so I save what the assignment is in my phone. So I kind of go like this and like zoom in to get it and then I take a picture and my professor in front of the entire class just goes, oh, somebody needs a selfie stick. And I just replied like, I was taking a picture of the homework. I wasn't taking a selfie, just I'm being educational. There was no selfie. It was thoroughly awkward. If you only had the ability to sing, act, or dance for the rest of your life, which would you choose? While I would never ever want to give up dancing or acting, I have to go with singing because I study music all day every day and I sing all day every day like it's my major. One of my possible career paths is as a professional musician. So yeah, if I have to choose one, I'm choosing singing because I kinda already do that all the time. What Broadway show could you watch 1,000,000 times and never once get tired of the soundtrack or plot? There are actually about 4 shows that I could watch endlessly, and I do watch endlessly, and I never get sick of the soundtrack or the plot or any of that. And they are Wicked, Rent, In the Heights, and Chess. What is your favorite gel color? I'm not a techie. However, to answer your question, my favorite gel color is blue. Because when I did Leonard Bernstein's Mass, we had a mishap during a performance that resulted in a 1.5-minute long dramatic pause, where everybody was frozen on the stage while an organ note was being held forever under blue lights. And I think like the dramatic nature of like this one note and this blue lighting led the audience to believe that we were still in a state of meditation and that this was just supposed to happen and it was an abstract concept or what the hell ever. So yeah, I'm gonna go with blue because I once got frozen under a blue light for way longer than a dramatic pause should ever be. If you could pick any power in the world, no matter if it's from Marvel, DC, Disney, or one off the top of your head, any power that you can imagine yourself using, whether that be for everyday life or using it sparingly for good or using it sparingly for evil, even if it's a combo power, what is your favorite vegetable? Why you gotta make me read a question that's like a paragraph long that it took me like 4 takes to read the whole thing correctly without tripping over my damn words? awards. Can you do a video like Tales of Hell Week but just stupid mishaps that have happened on stage or backstage? I think it would be hilarious. This actually is something that I have thought about making, but if I made a video like that, I would pretty much have to make it into a series because you guys send me all your funny theater stories all the time, so it really wouldn't make sense for me to make like a one-off that's just funny theater stories. There's a couple reasons why I haven't done this already. Reason number one is that it is simply too similar to Tales of Hell Week to really make any sense being its own series, and the second reason is that as far as YouTube goes, I really am just making this shit up as I go along. There is no rhyme or reason to it. I just kind of like make videos and go like, there, video, ta-da! Do you have any funny Tech Week stories? Yes, I do. I've actually told a few of them on Tales of Hell Week, but one that happened more recently happened during Leonard Bernstein's Mass. The Hell Week for Leonard Bernstein's Mass, which was actually 2 weeks long, was the hardest Hell Week I have ever had to go through, and it was hard and tough and difficult for multiple reasons. But every night that we were in rehearsal and we would be given like a 15-minute break, one of the techies would come out with just a big bag of candy and would go around to all of the performers and just give us candy. And keep in mind that pretty much everybody in this production was a full-grown adult, but when we saw the candy bag coming around, it was just like, is your second toe taller than your big toe? Yes! What is your favorite hair product or line of hair products? I'm really not too fancy about like what products I use on a day-to-day basis. I use this stuff. It's Aussie Gel and Garnier Fructis Leave-In Conditioner to tame the beast. Do you have any favorite makeup products you like to use for the stage that aren't specifically theater makeup brands but are more drugstore? I actually don't use a lot of like theater makeup brands because it does tend to be very expensive. I also haven't yet been put into a situation where I really have to use like effects makeup, and I really do use a variety of brands of stuff in my everyday makeup and in my onstage looks. But if I have to choose a favorite, I'm going to go with NYX and ELF, because ELF has like giant eyeshadow palettes which have a million colors that are really cheap, and it's really good to have like a big versatile eyeshadow palette when you're backstage, because one, I often end up doing other people's makeup and it's good to have color choices, and also it means that's like one less palette that you have to have because you already have this color in this palette, and also cheap is good because I am broke as hell. And that is the end of this Q&A. Comment, like, subscribe, follow me, and all the links in the description, and I'll see y'all next Friday.